I made the Cardinals thing yesterday, Chloe, and I'm sort of giving you all I'm like, it's like a confessions by me. I had a coffee yesterday I had a coffee at 1 o'clock, which I never do yesterday. Again, just a bit tired.
Yeah.
Worst sleep ever last night. And when I was at this coffee line yesterday, there was so many people getting coffees in the afternoon all the way till about 2 o'clock. This is in corporate environment. It's obviously I've kind of gone off track here from food, but this is still food in some ways. You get caffeine as a thing. Do you find that caffeine, like when you're with your clients, the corporate clients specifically, is caffeine one of the is it a big issue in general for people? Too much or wrong timing?
It is a big issue for those exact two things you've said. It's too much, wrong timing. So with caffeine, more isn't better. It's about finding your sweet spot, and that sweet spot's going to be different for everybody because how you react to caffeine is actually genetic, as well as part of it is how frequently you have it, but it is a genetic thing. So, some people will have a espresso at 10 o'clock and then they'll go straight to bed and not have any issues. Whereas I'm same as you. If I have one after 1 o'clock, then it's setting myself up for not a great sleep. And a lot of people are like that as well. And corporate world, really, I think it's, I hear all the time people being, having, last coffee of the day at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how is this not having a bad impact on your sleep? But it's a really vicious cycle, right? Because then you sleep poorly, then you need it the next day because you're really tired again, and so on. So I think I like to suggest keeping your coffees to earlier in the day and aiming to stop and I'm going to say somewhere between midday and 2, depending on you, because for some people they can have one at 2 o'clock and they literally have no problems. Others will, if they have one after midday, then they're still going to be up all night. So it does depend on the individual. The research around benefits of coffee are at about 3 coffees per day, and that's 3 shots. So not 3 double shots.
Double shots.
Yeah. So I shouldn't say never. It's going to be a rare occurrence where I'm like, stop having coffee, stop having caffeine. I actually think caffeine's like one of the most useful substances that we can have to help us to focus better and to perform better. And that's both cognitively and from a sports perspective. But it is one that I think does get abused is probably not quite the right word, but it is such a crutch for so many people. And if we look at, well, what can we do to improve what else is going on for you, in that having it a bit earlier, making sure you're eating better earlier on in the day as well, because that will help you to have more energy for the afternoon. And then also making sure that you go to bed so that you get plenty of sleep. And I know I said before, parents, I remember when my oldest she was maybe like sort of 6 months old or something, and just hearing like, you have to get good sleep, I was just like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm doing the best I can. So I totally appreciate as parents, it can be really hard to get good sleep, get adequate sleep. But it's about working with what you've got as well. And so, maybe it is going to bed that little bit earlier than you'd want to, so that you're getting at least a decent block in before they might wake up, or, try to climb out of the cot, come and jump into bed with you, whatever it might be that's happening. So, setting yourself up for success where you can, and then, making use of, on the weekends, maybe you do have a little nap if you can. In the middle of the day, if they're still small enough to be having sleeps themselves. Fingers crossed.
That's it. No, that's really good.
Yeah, sorry, if that was all I was going to say there.
Yeah, I think when we start, like, naturally, I'm as you know, I'm a physiotherapist, so I'm talking physical health quite a lot, and movement, and get yourself moving. And what I see with my clients is, they can do the gym, they can commit to that consistent gym workout or running or something like that. And always where the letdown is, in my opinion anyway, is probably the sleep section and also the food section. And sleep is like, oh, I can manage with whatever. And then the food side of things is just never really considered because it's always I work out 4 times a week, that kind of thing. Do you see that as well within your clients' base, is like people kind of happy to exercise, compromise on sleep, and then nutrition's not like they're obviously coming to you because they want help with that, but is it sort of the last straw, do you think, for them?
Yeah, it's I think it's really interesting because it feels like everything else can be sacrificed. So, nothing else can be sacrificed. It has to be the sleep or the food. And then exercise might come after that, as like if something else has to go. But it, like, priority wise, it's like I'll just have to sleep less so I can get that presentation done. Or I've had a meeting put in my diary at lunchtime, so now I'm not going to be able to have my lunch. And I see that sort of thing happening all the time. Probably the biggest problems that I see people having in their nutrition when they come to see me, particularly if they're already exercising regularly, is one is eating at the right times around their physical activity through the day to then support energy for the rest of the day. And the second component of that is like eating the right things. So, we touched on carbohydrates before. We obviously don't want to go too nuts on carbs through the day, but we also need to make sure we're having enough to support recovery if we've exercised in the morning, but also to make sure that we've got enough to support our energy and our brain through the day. Carbs are our brain's favorite source of fuel. So not having carbs is actually not going to be super helpful. It's just about having the right ones at the right times. So if I just think about a common person, and this would be a male or a female, it would be, you get up in the morning, go and, head out for that 10K run or go to that high intensity gym class. And, great that they've gotten up and done that. But then often breakfast will be delayed because they've got to get ready for work. And then they might eat breakfast when they get into work, or they might be fasting because it's healthy and not eating anything until lunchtime, and then wondering why they're absolutely ravenous by 3:00, eating a block of chocolate, having an extra coffee, feeling like crap. And then doing it all again the next day. But by making a couple little changes to that, it can absolutely change how they're feeling and how they're performing through the day. So if you're a female, in both of those exercise situations I gave, so that HIIT class, that high intensity class, or if you are heading out for your run or your bike ride or whatever it might be. Males, to some degree, this is true, but males, I don't really care so much if it's fasted, depending on what the session is. Females, I'm going to say eat something beforehand, and this is a hormonal thing. So have something to eat before, and then when you get home, have your breakfast when you get home. So have your shower, get dressed, but make sure you've got time to actually eat breakfast. And it doesn't have to be sitting down to a big gourmet meal. It could be as simple as making yourself a smoothie, which you can literally put together in a couple of minutes, and then maybe you sip on that on the train on the way into work, or if you're working from home that day, you can sip on it at your desk. And that means that you're getting that nutrition in, you're getting it in quickly, some protein powder, some milk, some oats, some banana, some berries, whatever other bits and pieces you want to add into that to make it right for you. Then you're getting your protein, you're getting your carbs, you're getting some other bits and pieces in there that you need as well. And that's then setting you up to not be ravenous at 3:00 in the afternoon. You're going to be able to focus better all morning. You're probably going to have less coffee. Like, the list goes on. And it's not a big change to make. It's such a small thing to do, but it's actually life-changing for a lot of people. And I know it sounds so silly to be being like, having breakfast after a workout is life-changing, but it literally can be if you've been skipping it and, life's been how it was looking before. So
and the whole fasting kind of idea and whatever, some people have really ran with that to the point of fasting every day, which is what, if it works, or if you can actually make it work. But I guess what you're saying is, especially in the women, fueling yourself before a workout, from recovery wise, that's going to help you as well.